I had never seen such a crazy fox. It kept testing the edge of a trap, but just when it was about to give up, the steel jaws suddenly snapped shut. The fox was furious and started pounding on the trap. Not long before that, it had been rummaging through trash for food. Just then, a news report came on the radio. It said that silver foxes were friends of humans, and that joining them meant landing a high-paying job. Tempted by the promise of such a good life, the fox began searching everywhere for traps, and that's how the story began. The fox had a sudden idea. Since the trap wouldn't trigger on its own, why not shove its tail inside? Once it did, it let out a loud howl. It thought this was the way to get hired for a high-paying job, but when a man from the farm came to check, he told the fox it didn't qualify. This farm only wanted silver foxes, not ordinary red foxes, so the man kicked it away. But that very kick helped the fox stumble upon a solution. It stepped into a puddle of silver paint, and an idea flashed in its mind. When it called out to the man again, it had already painted itself silver. To the man, it now looked like a luxurious fur coat. The fox was almost in big trouble, but it still cheerfully greeted the other foxes in cages. Moments later, it was shoved into an iron cage itself. Thinking it was just a dorm, it relaxed for a while. Then a worn-out fox beside it revealed the truth. All of them had been tricked by the job ad. Humans brought them here, only to skin them for their fur. But the fox refused to believe it. It thought the other fox was just trying to scare it into giving up the job. On the surface, it didn't argue. Instead, it acted friendly and asked, "Then how do we get out of here?" The silver fox bit down on a file and managed to craft a key. It promised they would escape that very night. As the clock chimed hour by hour, the moment finally arrived. With the crack of a gunshot, every cage door was opened at once. The silver fox even opened the door for it, urging it to run with the others. It dashed out alongside them, but suddenly slowed down. After every other fox had escaped, it turned back, took the key, and flung it far away. It thought this way, no one could ever steal its job. But then it noticed a for sale sign on the wall, and heard the sound of an axe being sharpened. At last, it believed the silver fox's warning. Panicked, it desperately searched for the key, but the key was long gone. Just then, the man walked in carrying an axe. As danger closed in, the fox finally snatched up the key, unlocked the cage, and bolted out. The man immediately released his hunting dogs. In sheer desperation, the fox sprinted for its life, leaping over one obstacle after another. Whether it was hurdles like a racetrack, or narrow sewer tunnels, the hounds never let up. When the fox finally crawled out of the water, it realized all the silver paint had washed away. Excited, it stopped in its tracks, and shouted to the hounds, "Look closely, I'm not a silver fox, I'm just a red fox. There's no reason to chase me anymore." The hounds didn't care. After being tricked for so long, they weren't going to let it off without a beating. As night fell, the furious fox snuck into the hunter's house, and stole his radio. It ran off clutching the radio in its arms, and in the end, smashed it to pieces.